Listen, guys, you have to know that your love and support that I receive for all of these wonderful videos that I've had the honor to create means the world to me. Every comment I read, everything that you guys post here I see, and it means the world to me that you guys have touched my heart in so many unbelievable and unimaginable ways. Because this never really happens for everybody who creates videos about Descendants of Zombies. This happens for a number of people. And I had the honor of being one of those guys who could tell stories that were relatable to people, that always had a way of touching your heart. I never prepare anything before I ever push record with a video about Descendants of Zombies. Because when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, I've always loved commentating on Descendants of Zombies. I've never really preferred recording reaction videos or reviews. I've loved commentating on it so that you guys felt like you were listening to a guy who actually understood you for the fans that you were, and most of all, appreciated you. Because there are far too many people who just record reaction videos from their mom's basement, and they never really put into perspective how Descendants of Zombies means to millions of people. And I've loved doing it. Now, I will admit to you guys that I did record videos out of my parents' home, which was very difficult for me to do early in the early years of my career. I eventually moved out of there, and I was able to produce it out of my own studio that I created out of my own home. So what I did was I put every bit of money that I had into this Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, and I put it out there for the world to see, never knowing how people were going to respond to it or how they were going to feel about it. And you guys welcomed me into this niche. And ever since becoming a part of this niche and becoming a part of the soundtrack, I've had the honor of meeting so many incredible people who I always believe deserve better. And I know I talk about Kylie Cantrell on Zombies videos, and I talk about Freya Sky on Descendants videos, but the reason for that is because I've held a special place in my heart for these characters for forever. And I can't go one video without mentioning Freya Sky. I can't go one video without mentioning Ruby Rose Turner, because they were some of my favorite characters. They've obviously held a very special place in my heart for what feels like forever, for quite some time, and I know that there are people out there that have had a very special place in their hearts for them also. So what I wanted to do was kind of wanted to put everything together into one video, and I wanted to talk about, say, Descendants on Zombies and Zombies on Descendants. I wanted to kind of throw everything together in one cauldron, if you really think about it, to create one magical experience for everybody, so that you didn't have to wait for the latest Descendants discussion to come up or the latest Zombies discussion to come up. I really put my heart into everything that I believe in, and most of all, everybody that I've ever believed in. So when it came to the criticism that Freya was receiving, I wanted Freya to know that she was doing a wonderful job. I wanted Kylie to know that she was a wonderful person who was also coming through and shining through and doing a wonderful job for how they related to you guys. Because I wanted to be that relatable voice. I wanted to be that voice of consistency that was going to let you know that we were going to get to a point where Zombies was going to happen, and Descendants 5 was going to have to happen, because there are millions of people out there who love Descendants, and there are just as many people out there who love Zombies. My favorite characters from Zombies always were Zed and Addison, because of how Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim just appreciated each other, and how their chemistry was something that you couldn't help but fall head over heels in love with. I remember the first time that I saw Zombies. That would have been back on February 18th or 19th of 2018. A couple of days after Zombies had premiered, I saw it, and Zombies just kind of randomly happened for me, and I said, what was this? I felt the same way about Nightmare Before Christmas. Back in 1994. I was actually there, funny story, I was actually there when they actually put that VHS on the shelves at Walmart for the first time ever. That was back in 1993, and many of you may not know this, but the case was released as a black VHS cassette tape to theme it around Nightmare Before Christmas. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I always remembered holding that case, kind of like when you held your very first ever DVD or Blu-ray Descendants for Zombies copy, and you said to yourself, man, I got to get this. I have to have this as a part of my Blu-ray or DVD collection. And it kind of reminded me of that, because these were very different characters, like Jack Skellington and Sally's story always was looked at. It was a very different story. It was a very different concept for cartoon animated characters to kind of have. And these sci-fi characters just kind of show up from out of nowhere, and it almost made you feel like you were part of an alternate universe that you never ever wanted to shy away from. You always wanted to be a part of it. I always wanted to be like a citizen in Seabrook and have the chance to meet all these unforgettable characters that some way or somehow always had a way of touching our hearts. I think I've always believed that no matter who we were, we always took something special away from these characters and their stories. We always saw something special in the music that told the story, helped tell the story of Descendants of Zombies. because no matter who we were, we all had a favorite song. No matter if it was Dream Come True, no matter if it was Ain't No Doubt About It. Ain't No Doubt About It, I think, was one of the songs from Zombies 2 that everybody loved, and I remember how special of a song that was for me and how much it really touched my heart. No matter who we are, we all have a favorite character, a favorite story, a favorite song, a favorite moment. It could have been when they met in the zombie safe zone for the first time ever, and Zed was punched in the face by Addison because she was kind of really freaked out. But her emotions really did get the better of her sometimes, and she noticed that, they couldn't spend one moment apart. That was something that was really interesting to me about all these vampire and zombies kind of themed movies, were that people who were in love with vampires and werewolves just couldn't spend one moment apart. It brought me back to when Twilight was so huge, and of course Edward and Bella couldn't spend one moment apart, and when they did get separated by Twilight and New Moon, she almost went crazy. She tried to get into an accident on a motorcycle because she just wanted to see a vision of Edward, and she just couldn't live one moment of her life without him. And I think that's what we saw in the story of Zed and Addison. No matter how many times they were apart or what kind of challenges their relationship faced, the thing that was undeniable about them was they just didn't want to be apart. And the one thing about these movies were they didn't really separate for as long as what we thought they may have been going to separate. They were always with each other every step of the way. And no matter what challenges their relationship may have faced, they always just wanted to be together, spend every waking moment together. And I think that's really what made this one so special. And that's kind of why I've been waiting on love interest to kind of happen in Descendants, like for Red to find her love interest, which will eventually be Ace, for those of you following along with the book series. I think there are a total of 9 books, and there are some upcoming releases in this book series too that I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about. And just to let you guys in on what's happening with Descendants, we've got some new toy deals worked out with Mattel. So they have a new doll line coming up for Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland, which will include the updated hairstyles, the updated costumes, some new accessories. It's going to be really, really cool, because years ago, Mattel always had a really good relationship with Disney, and Mattel released really detailed dolls. Years ago, you guys may be too young to remember this, but they released this really authentic Belle doll. It came with 2 different gowns, the original Belle dress, which was white and blue, and the gold dress that Belle wore in the ballroom scene in Beauty and the Beast. I love that Belle doll. It was one of my favorite Disney princess dolls that were ever released, and it kind of reminds me of the Descendants dolls and how passionate you guys have always been about collecting them. Also Zombies dolls. I will never forget the reactions that these stars gave when they saw their dolls for the first time ever and they unboxed them, because the one thing you got to realize and always know and find time in appreciating is these stars realized at that moment their legacies were going to be cemented. Their legacies were forever going to be solidified because they had a chance of becoming legends. I always wanted my own doll or my own action figure, as lame as that sounds and as much of a loser as I probably sound to be to a lot of people. I always wanted my own doll because I wanted to be everybody's favorite action hero, to be in these fight scenes with all these different knights and fire-breathing dragons. And I know there's probably somebody out there saying, hey, Jonathan Clarke, do you really think that you could battle a fire-breathing dragon that could kill you? The more that I think about it, it'd probably be very challenging for me to fight a fire-breathing dragon, but I honestly would love the chance to do it, because you guys have meant so much to me, and you've shown so much love and support for these videos, and you've always known everything there is to know about Descendants of Zombies. You guys know more than what I do. So if somebody was to say that, hey, Jonathan Clarke, a fire-breathing dragon will probably kick your butt, I probably would believe you ever before I would think that I would have a chance of fighting a fire-breathing dragon. But hey, if it came down to saving Ruby and Kylie from a fire-breathing dragon and being everybody's favorite action hero, if that's what it took, I think I would take myself up on the opportunity, hands down. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for the fans of Descendants of Zombies, which you guys can proudly see on display here for these videos. I put all these nostalgic Disney characters behind me on this wall, and I've got all these Descendants posters that I've been meaning to kind of put up. I'm trying to find a way to incorporate them into this video, so give me time, and you guys will see Zombies and Descendants posters. I do have them here. I've got them unboxed, but it's very difficult to try to kind of come up with the concept of how you're going to put walls together. And to be honest with you guys, I don't want to take this wall down because I love this set so much. I recently updated it, and I hope you guys love it so much, man. I really wish there were more people out there who had this same appreciation for you guys, because you guys have held a very special place in my heart for a very long time. I'm seriously thinking about picking up the Descendants of Zombies dolls to have on a shelf here for you guys too, and I'll let you know how that goes. There's also an interesting story about how Freya Sky's song Silent Treatment now is a part of the Fortnite video game, and as many of you have come to know and love and appreciate over time, I am a really big video gamer, so I feel really proud that Freya Sky's song Silent Treatment has now found its way into Fortnite, because now they're doing collaborative opportunities with your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. Hopefully Kylie's new songs will get into that too. I think it's a really great way for them to experience a crossover kind of event where, you know, they're having more opportunities kind of come their way. So I can only imagine how proud other people were when they heard Freya Sky's song Silent Treatment as part of the Fortnite video game. I know there were a lot of people online taking screenshots of how they unlocked that song, and hey man, I always wanted my own song in Fortnite too. I always wanted to have my own downloadable character as part of the Disney packs. But everybody's probably saying, hey Jonathan Clarke, in order for you to have a character in Fortnite, you've really got to be famous. We need to give you like 50,000 likes, 50,000 subscribers. Perhaps we can help you out with that. You know, it's funny I say that because of how I want to be everybody's favorite action hero, because there are people out there who would probably love to see that. And there are people who have undeniably shown me so much love and support for every video that I've ever had the chance to create. There are people who are trying to help this YouTube channel get monetized all the time. And to be honest with you guys, I've never really cared about monetization opportunities or qualifying for such things as the YPP program, because all I've ever wanted to do is share my story with everybody. And I have the chance to do that, and as far as I'm concerned, all of my dreams and goals have been met. All of my dreams and goals have kind of happened for me because of how much you guys have meant to me and how much you've been to this channel, because I know that there is nobody else out there who's going to share a story with you about how they are a fan of Descendants of Zombies. They're just simply going to show up here. They're going to talk about Descendants of Zombies, which pretty much makes no sense to anybody. And what you guys want to know is you want to know who that person is creating these videos, who has a story to share with you about how his roommate was thought of being a werewolf one time, or his girlfriend may have been a vampire. Those stories are actually real-life stories that happened to me that fit very appropriately with Descendants of Zombies, believe it or not. And conveniently enough, I do live near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment, and that presents a lot of challenges, but it also makes these videos really fun for every single person who just wants to believe in Descendants of Zombies. But fear not, Zombies 5 is coming. It will happen sometime between now and 2027. And the cool thing is you guys have a lot of predictions, a lot of really fun predictions. And I have a lot of funny stories to share, so even if we do have a year to wait for Zombies 5, I would love to be a part of these conversations and continue to be a part of these conversations for many years to come. Because the thing is, everybody has a hope and a dream for Descendants of Zombies, and a lot of us see ourselves in these characters. We have stories that often relate to stories such as Ed and Addison, or we have stories that relate to Freya Sky and Malachi Barton, whose friendship I'm very supportive of. I got to let you guys in on that. I am very supportive of them, and a lot of that has to do with how supportive you guys are of them, because obviously you see a beautiful person in Freya, and you see a wonderful person in Malachi Barton, who I'm kind of envious of, because you guys love him so much. I could only wish that somebody would love me as much as what they do Malachi Barton, so he's got one up on me, but I'm very proud of how far he has come. I'm pretty much just a loser who sits here and talks about Descendants of Zombies every night for the rest of his life. But I see nothing wrong with that. Because if I can relate to somebody, and I can always have a way of touching somebody's heart through sharing stories with you about how I want to fight fire-breathing dragons, and how I want to slay werewolves and vampires, that's really, really cool. That's what makes these videos so fun. Because some way or somehow you guys have helped me keep these franchises alive and bring them to life. You know, I see them posting photos of themselves on the set of the Perfect Princess music videos, and I see them on the set of new music videos for Zombies all the time, and I can't help but be appreciative of it, because these are moments they deserve to be a part of, and I've wanted to be a part of them and sharing them with all of them, because I think that if you can say something nice about Descendants of Zombies, then you should go ahead and say it. Because the one thing you've got to know is that there's always somebody out there who is forever going to be supportive of you, who will forever hit your subscribe button because he or she loves your videos. And the love and support that you receive for Descendants of Zombies content is unlike anything that you will ever have the chance to experience. I have my doubts that I will ever experience anything like this ever again. How you guys have touched my heart is truly unbelievable, and it's unparalleled to anything that I've ever had the chance to experience. And I've experienced just about everything in the book, everything you could ever mention. But the love and support that I've received for all of these videos is truly incredible. At just 4:02 in the evening, you guys can now see the time that I filmed these videos, because I have a studio clock now in this room that I shoot videos out of. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, that's a studio? I thought that was your room. Well, room/studio, because I always wanted to have my own studio, and now I have one. And the thing is, I've always loved shooting Descendants of Zombies videos from it. Um, these are conversations that I've loved having with people, and I can only hope that these conversations mean as much to you as they have to me having them with you. To be able to sit here and talk about Descendants of Zombies and some of my all-time favorites, Ruby Rose Turner, because undeniably I have the biggest crush in the world on Ruby, and that's why I always mention Ruby and Descendants of Zombies videos alike. I love these stars so much, man, and a lot of it has to do with how I believe they deserve more of a chance, and they deserve more of a chance to showcase their potential and their talent, because they're the exemplification of strength, they're the personification of power, and seeing them go through these power eras and really coming of age, because if you look at the descriptions on Disney Plus, they refer to zombies as a coming of age sci-fi comedy, a sci-fi romance, what have you. And it really is, because they're experiencing so much and they're learning so much so quickly. Because that's one of the most beautiful things about working with Disney, is that you learn so much so quickly. And I know there are a lot of people out there who will say, oh, because they learn so much so quickly, that's why they all went mad. The thing is, they learn so much so quickly, and the reason why they can't wait to get away from Disney is because they want you to accept them for who they really are. It's a way of them reintroducing themselves to all of you, because they know that they have meant so much to you, and they want you to get to know them for who they truly are. And to have a chance to be a part of that and come out on the other side of the story so supportive of them, I think that's what matters. And if you can let them know how you truly feel about them, and how you forever feel passionate about sci-fis like Zombies, and romances like Descendants, and action adventures like Descendants, that's what makes this matter. That's what makes you feel obviously connected to it and very emotional about it, because there are far more emotional fans out there than ever given credit for, and I am one of them, because I've developed this seemingly unbreakable connection with fans, unbreakable, undeniable, very emotional connection with fans that I've loved being a part of. The best way for me to describe this whole experience, it really feels like I've been on this unforgettable journey that I've never wanted to be over, so why should it ever have to be over? And if you can offer encouragement along the way to give people hope that special things are going to happen, that's what makes this so worth it in the end, and you are what's made it so worth it for me, because if I had no fans, if I had no subscribers, I would never have existed. Jonathan Clarke on YouTube would have never happened 25 years ago. And somebody out there saying, hey, Jonathan Clarke, 25 years to do this is a really long time. The only one crazy enough to do this for 25 years is you. Yeah, it probably is. But guys, don't ever let your dreams sell you short. If you have a dream, the best advice I can give you is to continue to pursue your dreams and follow your passions. Set goals for yourselves, because that's what leads you down a prominent path to your dreams. And when they become a reality, the greatest feeling in the world that anyone could ever have is to have their dream become a reality for them right before their very eyes. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you really make a whole lot of sense. That's why we love your YouTube. If you do say that, thank you so much. Because whatever your dream is, don't ever let anybody sell you short or tell you anything different, because you can do anything. Anything you set your heart to, anything you set your mind to, that's the one thing I've always encouraged. And I see it every day through the lovely comments that are left here, the undeniable love and support that I often receive, that I never imagined that I would ever receive, that I never deserved, but I did get it from all of you. And just being here with all of you is truly incredible and an unforgettable experience that I've loved sharing in with all of you, and I look forward to for many years to come. So if you are somebody who has never subscribed here, I would love for you guys undeniably to become a part of this incredible conversation, these incredible stories that we share with each other, and really just to come along on this incredible journey, because I'm a Disney nostalgist. I'm a huge video gamer. I love Descendants of Zombies with all of my heart, and I love putting that on display for everybody and just being a part of these conversations that obviously have held a very special place in my heart that I've looked forward to having with so many incredibly supportive people. Again, guys, thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for all the wonderful likes and all the wonderful love and support. It's truly unbelievable and unfathomable how people love this YouTube channel and have chosen this YouTube channel as their favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for always being you, for always showing up here, and showing so much love and support for everything that comes with being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because there's forever and always only going to be one you, and that's what's always mattered to me. And if I can put a smile on your face through every video that I ever record or ever create, that's what makes it worth doing what I've done for YouTube for over 25 years, worth it every single time. Thank you so much for always having a special place in your heart for this huge loser. Thank you so much for believing in Descendants of Zombies as much as what you have. Thank you so much for having welcomed me into this niche. I will never forget any of you for what you did for me as the creator of these videos, what we created together, and this channel, because you have made it your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, and it always keeps you coming back for more, to hear what this crazy guy has to say, who may live near a soda station and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment. But I know that that comes with challenges in its own right, but there's nothing that we can't do together. We have a future to be excited about for both Descendants and Zombies, and I would love to continue to be a part of it with you guys for many years to come. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel, and for always having watched these videos.